Hello everyone from Chess.me. This is Matthew Slomsky. I'm an Astromaster, and today we're going to talk about how to do the two bishop checkmate. So this is a relatively easy checkmate if you know how. If you don't, you have to learn this technique or else you're going to be frustrated and not know how to do this efficiently. So step number one is to have this king be opposition of the enemy king. So how do we do this? Well, starting off with king e3. They can do king e7 or king d7. So let's say king d7. If this case, just king d4, king d6. Let's say king d6 first of all, but later we're going to talk about king c6 escaping the king from this perspective. So king d6, let's say, easy peasy. So now we're going to move the bishops. So step number two is driving the king, the black king, over to the corner. So the corner is going to be this way, h8. So let's see how we do that. So bishop e4, king e6, bishop g4, king f6, and then bishop d2 to block this king in the box. So you see the arrows. Let's say if they go king e7 to escape this. He wants to go away from the king side, h8 square. Let's say king e7. But now we have this lovely move, king e5. So let's say they go further, king d8. But now we have this lovely move to cut off everything that he wants to do with the king queen side, bishop a5. So the king has to go to e file. So we do this next move, bishop e6, blocking off a lot of squares. So we only have, for black, 2 squares to go to, f8 or e8. Let's say f8. He wants to go to g7. So we're going to block it off with, you guess it, king f6. So king 8 is forced. Now we have to do a waiting move. So we want to relieve this king from this e8 square, not having a stalemate. So to do that, we ought to do a waiting move. More importantly, a move bishop like c7 or b6 doesn't matter, but the king has to go there. But the goal is to control the square and to drive this king over the corner. With the bishop on e6, there's a control over g8, so we have to relieve that by bishop d7. The king has to go to g8, but now is a very important step 3 that is frustrating a lot of people. So we have to clear off the king from this f6 square. So normally people that don't know this technique, they just have this king on f6 and they had to do bishop checks around the king, but it's really frustrating and it's hard. But you know now that you have to move the king to relieve the pressure on the bishop so they can do this checks. So we're going to see that. King g6 is very important. So let's say they go king f8. So now we have the clearance to do this checkmate with the bishops. So bishop e6 first, they have to go king g8. So now bishop e6. The king has to go to h8 and then boom, bishop e5 checkmate. If the king was on f6, we cannot do this bishop e5 checkmate right now. So very important, step 3 is to move the king out of the way and have the bishops do their work to the checkmate. So now let's go to the second step scenario that we saw earlier on, is king c6 to try to run away for the king with not going to the corner. But we're going to eventually checkmate on this h8 square. So this is how we do it. So bishop a4 check, immediately pressurize the king. Let's say king d6. King b6 is basically closer to that corner, so we can drive that there. So he's going to be centralized to make it harder. So now we're going to do bishop e4 check, just getting a box for this king. So king e6, he wants to go f5, so we block that with a king. So everywhere he goes, just block with the king. So if they go king e6 to escape to d5, this is a very important part that we want to recognize. We can do bishop e3 check, but they can escape with king d7. So more centralizing squares, that's not what we want. So we want to drive into the corner. So how to do that is bishop c6. So the king has to go somewhere on this f file. So the purpose is drive into this corner, this h8 square. So we're going to do bishop f5 next. So we have the box being slowly smaller every time. King G6, he wants to go to H5, but we're going to be closing the box as well. Less scores they have, the more happier we'll be. So King F6, or A6 rather, we can do King F5, King H5, doesn't matter for him. We can have this Bishop F3 check there, and then we have this another check there, and we're gonna have this Bishop D5 rather check D5 square, and just minimizing his options. So this important to control this D8 square is really having only one move, King H8. This is an important step now. It's King F6. Alright? So this is a very different mate than we saw before. So King A7, but we have it very, very quickly. King F7, but we're going to just moving the king out of the way of the bishops. The same way is like appealing to 4. Like if the king is on F6, it'll be annoying to the checkmate. But King F7, King H8 is forced, but the king is guarding EJ8 is important. Alright, King Bishop G7 there, and then boom, checkmate. So this is how to do this 2 bishops checkmate efficiently. So 3 steps. We're going to be seeing that from the very start. Number 1, do opposition with the king this way, and then step number 2, drive the king to the corner, any corner. The king side or queen side doesn't matter. So a lot of people can do this. Step number 1, 2, number 2. But don't keep the king in the middle. Instead of like E8 or D8, just drive him to the corner. Alright? And number 3 is very important and hard if you don't know what the technique is. But move the king away from this bishop's lines and have this king have the opposition right directly. So G8, H8 doesn't matter. Other lines like the C6 move, F7, F8, just opposite the enemy king, and the bishops can take care of the rest. So F8, check, there, checkmate. That's a 3 steps process, and I hope that you learn how to do this 2 bishop checkmate. Bye, Testimio.